Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So I was out on the Rieju. You probably saw the past videos. We were doing some single track, and it's epic single track. But by this point in the day, I was getting pretty tired. I was getting tired. I'm on a bike that I'm not 100% familiar with the power band, and the Sedona MX, I think it's the 907 tire, is just complete garbage. Utter garbage. Like, usually I would come around on the beta on something like that and just hit it and go up it and go over and continue. But at this point, I am so like, this tire is probably not going to hook up. It's horrendous. I don't know why in the past Jeff Slavens recommended this tire for people out here in Colorado. It does not work. It works okay as like a dual sport tire, and I have used this tire in the past on the XR650R and some other bikes as a dual sport tire. If you're sticking mostly to roads and you're just touching maybe ATV trails and maybe an occasional single track, it works fine. At least you think it works fine. But as your skills build, you can tell when a tire just does not work anymore for your skill level. Now, some people, will be like, oh, it's all about your skill. Well, no, I mean, it is, but it isn't, The skill level does play a role, and that's why I was able to, the first part of the day, do pretty well with this tire, because I can make it go through stuff, over stuff. I could predict what it was doing, but as I was getting tired, I was noticing the tire wasn't doing what typically would be done if, say, I was on my Beta 300 RR Racing, where with the Tusk Recon tire, I would just tractor up stuff. Or now I'm going to the 220 Ride chubby tire on the Beta 300, and again, it will just tractor up stuff. Plus, I have tubeless, so I run like 5 psi, and it will just grab everything, and it just tractors up. Again, knowing the power band too plays a role with the bike, and when you have, hundreds of hours on a bike, you get used to knowing what it's going to do. Whereas I'm jumping on the Rieju to take it out to get some videos, I don't know the power band that well. So, I'm looking at all this stuff like, oh, I got to go up this. Like, you see, I'm doing decent here, but I'm just getting tired. And this is the last trail we did at the end of the day, and then we have some water crossings. I'm like, oh, I got to get across the water. These ones I do okay, but it goes downhill as the tire causes some issues later on coming up, and it slides out. It doesn't, I did take a few bad lines, and it just was downhill because I was getting tired, and then with everything else going on, just that Sedona. Stay away from the Sedona MX. I think it's the 907. I'll put a picture of it up here, and that's the tire. Stay away from it. It has a weird tread pattern too, and it looks neat, but a look-needing tread pattern doesn't really work. You go hit a log, and that weird diagonal tread pattern kind of just makes it slide out, and yeah, it's not good. And yes, this is a video complaining, but also not just on the tire, but I want to be realistic with you all, show you real life. Here I am just getting tired. You usually don't see this because I go out and ride something, and I don't mind putting my falls in, and you'll see I get fall after fall after fall in my falls if it were pretty light going. But I make it across these logs, and it's going to be coming up, and I don't do so well. So I thought I would do a voiceover video for this trail, because it's kind of just to show everyone, we all make mistakes, we all get tired, things happen. That's just life. And here I come, I'm coming around. Right there, it's like, oh, I'm just struggling going up this hill with the bike. I can feel the tire just spinning. It's not really gripping like I would like. And here I come. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to go over the log. Boom! I don't quite make it. But I set the bike down nicely, None of the falls were so hard where I was damaging anything on the bike. It was just kind of a graceful get off, just let it go down, and then just pick it back up. But every time you pick up a bike, you're going to get tired and wore out, and you're just fighting stuff, and then, you make another mistake, and again, you're just fighting stuff. and it just keeps building and building. And this trail was completely, like, uphill, which was just crazy that it was you know, uphill, and I had never been on this trail before, so I didn't know what to expect either. So coming around, everything was new to me, which, you know, when you're on your home turf and you know a trail very well, you know what to expect around every single corner unless something occurred that there's a major trail change. So, you know, I got a water crossing here. Okay, that's cool. Plus, it's been wet this year. Everything's wet, as you can see, which is good. It keeps the dust down. This is also kind of black dirt, which not typically used to riding in. And here's where it goes downhill from here. I look at this, I'm like, well, where's the trail go? I'm ahead of everyone at this point. Well, does it go left? I can't go left. It must go up. It has to go up. Now, I should have known better, but because I was tired, I wasn't really thinking. I'm like, oh, I'll just go right here. I hit that stuff that I thought was water. It was algae, and it was like ice. And it took me forever to back up. I had to go inch by inch. And you'll see here, before I cut it, that the bike just, I'm like kind of sliding. The bike just slides. And I'm like, holy cow. Everyone else went wide, see. Somebody else would have tried to take the line I did across that algae, they would have ended up into me. I just wanted to stop the bike from hitting the waterfall and ending up down the river. So once I got that sorted, I continued right up. And any tire would have probably slid there, to be honest. So that's not a Sedona issue. That was just me picking a bad line, not realizing that was algae and not just water. But, you know, it wore me out because I had to get the bike back, and then I had to, you know, get on it and stuff. And like I said, anytime you find yourself getting off the bike and moving the bike around, you're just exerting or wasting energy that you don't have, especially near the end of the day. You know, you've already been riding quite a while. See, the tire slipped out here on the route. I kind of just lightly drop it off. I just step off, but I have to pick it back up. That's more energy just wasted. So you want to stay on the bike so you don't waste energy. But, you know, I'm human. I make mistakes. Right here, once again, I'm just getting now frustrated. More and more. I'm getting more and more frustrated. The bike is getting stuck where I feel it shouldn't be getting stuck at because I'm tired. The clutch is getting heavy. That's another thing. The Rieju does have a pretty heavy clutch. It's just like my old gas, which, man, it's that much heavier than my Beta, and that's just crazy. It shouldn't be that heavy for a hydraulic clutch. They should be making these things really light because when you're doing hard trail riding, you have to use the clutch all the time. So you're getting more tired, your hands are getting tired, you're getting tired. You're fighting the bike versus riding the bike. There is a difference there. Now, I'm getting stuck in the littlest spots, and I do cut out where I take like these breaks. I'm like, oh, I don't care if they go in front of me. That's another thing, guys and gals. If you get tired, don't worry about the people in front of you. If they're buddies, they're going to wait. If they don't wait, you probably don't want to ride with them again. You know, these guys were fine. They waited. And, you know, they asked if I was good and stuff, and usually I just, yeah, thumbs up, let's just keep going, because that's typically how I ride anyways. This is a spot where I felt like I could have walked up my Beta just with the throttle and clutch and the tire grabbing. I fought and fought and fought. It just wasn't working, and I'm tired, moving the bike around stunk, you know. And once again, I'm just fighting the bike, trying to get up this. And I see up ahead there's a log and a rock. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't really want to do this at this point. I just want to, you know, get out of here. I'm done. I am totally done with the trail. It was a good day. I want to end it on a high note, but we still have a trail go. I don't know how much further. I do make it over that one just fine. No issues. But, you know, then we have these gnarly switchbacks, and I'm just like, oh, I cannot do these switchbacks. Are you kidding me? Just because I'm tired. Not that I can't normally do them. If we hit this trail fresh, I think even with the tire and stuff, I would have been able to manhandle this bike through a lot of the stuff, but I had already done that previously in the day, as you saw in other videos. So I'm getting more and more tired, and I can't really force the bike through stuff that I'm just not, feeling like it's going to make it. You know, I will bring you a video of me on my Beta 300 going through the same trail so we can compare the difference. So I'll do this trail again and see. I thought that was fine. I kind of looped it around, but this tire doesn't hook up. It just, I give it gas and it just slides out, and I'm go down on the switchback. And then I get back on the bike, and I'm like, oh, it's so steep. I have to get over these rocks, and it's crazy. It's just sliding. I'm getting zero traction with that Sedona. It's such a hard tire. That's such a hard sidewall. It's so stiff. You can have 0 PSI in that tire and not even know it. So it doesn't matter if you're running 0 PSI. It's just, you know, hard. It's a hard compound, which isn't good. And then I have to go around here. I know I should be able to typically do it, but at this point I don't feel like it. And I'm just like, oh my god, I got to get up and around. And see, I do pretty good. I, you know, kind of do a little pivot and get the bike. You can tell I know what I'm doing. It's just I'm exhausted. And then I fought the bike there for a while, so I cut that out. And I even put my head down and took a breather. And I come up. There wasn't a room up there, so I kind of waited back here because I didn't want to crowd up there. Once they start going again, they asked if I was good. Yeah, let's keep going, guys. You know, once they started going, I got up there. And, you know, this part of the trail isn't so bad. It's a little rocky, it's a little tight, but nothing that I typically wouldn't worry about. Like, would I do this trail by myself? That's how I look at this. Would I do this trail by myself? Yeah, I normally would on my Beta. With good tires and knowing my bike really well, I would have no problem doing this trail by myself. But, especially at the beginning of the day. But being at the end of the day on a bike I'm not 100% familiar with, yeah, I don't know, you know? And of course this water's flowing good, and it's hard to tell, but it seemed we're not used to a lot of water in these streams, so I didn't want to flood the bike, didn't quite know how deep it was, and I could just picture something going wrong, so I didn't want to be that guy and drown the bike. So I just kind of roll up, and, you know, normally on my Beta I would just roll on the gas here, and I would just go right up. Tire just sticks. I'm like, okay, whatever, go back. Oh! And it grabbed and shot in.
Okay, on a bike I know, like my Beta, like the clutch pull on this Rieju is just so fucking stiff. It reminds me of my gas. I don't miss that at all.
As you see, I kind of talked about the clutch and stuff right there. And yeah, I'm not hooking up, I'm not moving. And then I have to get up this rock, and I'm like, this tire won't do it. And I'm like, oh man, I just do not feel this. I am not feeling the trail at this point. I am totally broken. I'm a broken man. It happens to the best of us. And the struggle is real. The struggle bus has, like, come and picked me up because I am struggling everywhere. And, you know, I do, you know, get it up there, but again, I'm expelling a lot of energy by getting off the bike. And I like staying on the bike, not using a lot of energy. It's like if I have to go back and help somebody, I usually take the bike and go back and help somebody versus walking down the hill, because if I walk down the hill to help you, I'm getting on the bike and I'm riding it up the hill. That's always been my thing. Like, I'm coming back, you're hiking, and I'm riding the bike back up to where we all are. That's just a thing I do. But, you know, here we are on this trail, and it's a beautiful trail otherwise, and I can see the beauty in it watching it now, you know, being rested, and through rested eyes, knowing if I did this trail again, I'd be on my bike, my primary bike, and not the rental or aka Aaron's bike, because technically it's his, but we do run it out. And that's just Sedona. No, he doesn't like the Sedona. I don't like the Sedona. I've talked to other people that say, are you kidding me? The Sedona? Yeah, the Sedona tire is brutal. It's a brutal tire. And this terrain just doesn't agree with it. I think it's just good for dual sporting. I don't know why Just Slavens originally would recommend this tire to people not that long ago. And, you know, we all bought into it for a while, and I had it on the bikes because I was more dual sporting, and yeah, you know, it worked for dual sporting, but it's once your skill level gets to a point, you do notice when the tire just doesn't work for you anymore, and it doesn't work at all on single track. So if you're single track riding Sedona, MX907, stay away from it. And then here I think the trail's straight, because I'm like, where's the trail? I'm excited, I know we're coming out. Oh, what? Whoa, it's not right there, but there's the drainage pipe. Okay, we must be getting out of here. Oh, I just have to cross these rocks? Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I think I'll just walk up here. And I'll let the audio go now. Y'all stay well. Take care, my friend.
On my bike, I wouldn't worry. I'm like, so... He has it insured. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, that tire just slid on that rock. I'm used to my beta where I can just creep right up and go. Yeah, I got it. That did not creep up and do anything. No. It just slid right out.
It creeped to the left there and went out.
Oh. Huh?
Make sure the brakes off.
Okay.